In a hidden corner of Russia, there's a man with a gift that's equal parts art and nightmare. Meet the doll maker of Nizhny Novgorod, Anatoly Moskvin, an artist whose creations blur the line between beauty and the bizarre. But behind every stitch and every painted smile lies a chilling secret. How did he create these unsettling masterpieces? And what happens when art takes on a life of its own? Brace yourself for the haunting tale of creativity, obsession, and the uncanny. Welcome to the world of the doll maker. Anatoly Moskvin was born on September 1st, 1966, in Gorky, Soviet Russia, now Nizhny Novgorod. Anatoly Moskvin's fascination with cemeteries began in his youth. He frequented cemeteries with friends, an unusual pastime for a child. This early exposure to death and the macabre may have desensitized him and fostered an unhealthy obsession. Even at a young age, he was drawn to the mysteries of life and what lies beyond. A particularly traumatic childhood incident happened when he was forced to kiss the face of a deceased young girl during a funeral. This was no ordinary funeral. It was steeped in old traditions that seemed out of place even then. And this fascination only got stronger as he got older. His visits to graveyards became more frequent, and his thoughts more consumed by the dead. Moskvin led a solitary life, with limited social interaction beyond his academic pursuits. This isolation may have exacerbated any underlying mental health issues, and fueled his morbid fantasies. Moskvin's inability to form healthy relationships, including his lifelong celibacy, may have contributed to his desire for surrogate children, which he found in the deceased girls. He was especially interested in old burial rituals and how people preserved bodies after death. These ancient practices fascinated him, offering a glimpse into how different cultures viewed death. It was like he didn't see death as the end, but as a doorway, a strange in-between place with all sorts of possibilities. This perspective made him see the world differently, always on the edge of the living and the dead. But this fascination started to turn darker, hinting at something sinister hidden beneath his normal appearance. What began as a childhood curiosity was now evolving into something much more disturbing. Moskvin led a solitary life, dedicated to his studies, and rarely ventured outside his world of books and academia. He became a renowned linguist and historian, and was a respected figure in the academic community. Anatoly could speak 13 languages, and became well known for his detailed knowledge about Celtic cemeteries. His hunger for this specific knowledge led to his extensive research on local cemeteries. But beneath this unassuming exterior, a dark and disturbing secret festered. The line between what was real and what wasn't started to disappear for him, and he quickly fell deeper into madness. In 2011, police investigating a string of grave desecrations made a horrifying discovery. Extensive investigations led the police authorities to the apartment of Anatoly Moskvin. What they found there was something out of a nightmare. The house was packed with dolls, but these weren't normal dolls. In the apartment of Anatoly Moskvin, they found the unimaginable: the mummified remains of 26 young girls and women. The bodies, preserved through a crude mummification process, were dressed in children's clothing and posed like dolls. It appeared Moskvin had created a macabre collection, a chilling testament to a mind deeply disturbed. The news of Moskvin's collection of human dolls shocked everyone in Nizhny Novgorod. Parents who were grieving their daughters now had to face the horrifying truth of what happened to their bodies. The community couldn't believe it, struggling to understand how the quiet scholar could be capable of such things. It turned out that Moskvin believed he could talk to dead people. He called them his daughters, a disturbing manifestation of his own profound loneliness and inability to connect with the living. He dressed the mummified bodies in colorful clothes. He talked to them, sang to them, put makeup on them, and even threw birthday parties for them. In his mind, he wasn't hurting these girls. He was giving them a second life, a way to escape death. His obsession with bringing the dead back to life came from being incredibly lonely and not being able to connect with living people. He found comfort in being around the dead, believing they understood him better than anyone alive ever could. His actions, as horrifying as they were, originated from a lonely and isolated childhood. It came from a twisted sense of love and a need for companionship. Experts diagnosed Moskvin with paranoid schizophrenia, a condition that likely fueled his delusions and drove him to commit these horrific acts. Due to his mental condition, he was deemed unfit to stand trial and sentenced to indefinite psychiatric treatment. There, trapped inside his own mind, he remained, lost in his madness. His case made people argue about mental illness and whether mentally ill people should be held responsible for their actions. Was he a monster who deserved to be punished, or was he a victim of his own broken mind? Diagnosing him with paranoid schizophrenia helped people understand his actions a little, but it didn't fully explain how truly horrifying they were. His case became a scary reminder that the human mind is fragile and there's a thin line between being sane and insane. The crimes of Anatoly Moskvin left a permanent scar on the community, shattering their sense of safety and forcing them to face the darkness that can hide even in the most ordinary people. The fear and sorrow he caused are still palpable, lingering in the air like a ghost that refuses to leave. His story is a chilling reminder of how powerful delusions can be and how devastating untreated mental illness can be. It serves as a grim warning of what can happen when the mind is left to wander into the abyss without help or understanding. Years later, people still wonder, what made Moskvin do such horrible things? Was it a twisted sense of purpose or a cry for help that went unheard? The answers, like the man himself, remain a mystery, lost in the labyrinth of madness that consumed him. Each twist and turn in his tale only deepens the enigma. What's your take on this eerie tale? Are these dolls truly alive, or just a twisted work of art? Let us know in the comments below. We're dying to hear your thoughts. And hey, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell, so you'll be the first to uncover more creepy stories from around the world. Check out our earlier videos shown on the screen right now. You never know what's lurking next.